Hi. Don't make fun of me.
I'm not.
I'm trying to do a podcast.
I'm just laughing.
Please leave this in.
All right.
Please start it off with this.
I will leave it in. All right.
Because we're professionals.
Yeah. This is totally professional.
Yes.
Okay. This is Torin Talks and Drew. Today we're gonna be starting off with what topic?
We're going to start off. Let's start with the Men in Black reboot. What we think about
Can
that.
can we just make this a PSA on all reboots in general?
Go ahead.
Like, stop. Whoever's
Don't do it.
authorizing all these effing reboots, please stop it. And if you're gonna reboot something, at least reboot something that was crappy. Don't reboot like the semi decent to decent awesome movie that actually came out like in the 80s and 90s. Like, stop rebooting that stuff. But I guess they can't even reboot the bad ones because they tried to reboot Fantastic Four and it still sucked. So just stop in general. Like, you can't reboot the bad ones. You can't reboot the good ones.
Honestly,
just stop it in general.
I feel like Fantastic Four would be good if they weren't the main characters in a series. They were additional, like, oh, hey, look, the Fantastic Four showed up to help. I think that would work a lot better.
The reason why Fantastic Four sucks is because the villain sucks. Because they have never yet to date did Doctor Doom any justice. And everybody knows that Doctor Doom makes the Fantastic Four, like, because he's awesome, he makes them awesome. I might be biased a little because I love Doctor Doom, but still, that is why those movies suck, because Doctor Doom always sucks. They need to make the movie kind of center around Doom more. Mm-hmm. And then that will make them seem more interesting, like something to have something to do. But focusing on them, it's like, okay, they fall into they go outer space, come back with powers. That's like the long and short of their story. But like Doom and why he wants to take over because he feel like he's doing this for the betterment of mankind and all this stuff. It's way more interesting and complex and nuanced than I went to space and got powers.
I haven't seen the newest Fantastic Four, but I saw the old ones. I'm not going to. But Doctor Doom just sounded like a twat. Like, he wasn't charismatic. He wasn't charismatic. He was in the first one. That is, he wasn't charismatic. He wasn't interesting. He was just a rich twat that was really annoying. And I feel like that's how Doctor Doom needs to be. Is just interesting, an egomaniac, but like a charismatic one. One that you like seeing. And he just they just haven't pulled that off yet.
Yeah. So I think that's just the problem with those movies in general. Like you some movies you start with the hero and some movies you start with the freaking villain. Okay? Like some movies are just as good as your villain. And I feel like in a way that's what the X-Men movies like kind of got good with, at least in some parts, because Ian McKellen was a great Magneto.
Oh yeah. And I mean, he's a good everything.
Well, yeah. And so, to me, him being a good Magneto kind of made those movies a little more better than they would have been. Like, if you took him out of that movie would suck.
Well, I think Patrick Stewart did a good Professor X too.
Well, no, I love him as Professor X too, but I feel like they play off each other. Like, if he was that good Professor X and then Magneto was weak sauce, then the movie wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think it helps that they're friends in real life when it comes to limited interactions.
I love that they're BFFs. I think that's so cute.
Yeah, it is kind of adorable.
Yeah.
For the Men in Black reboot, I don't have much faith in it just because, like, it's clear that the sequels have been for money. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that a movie like Avengers Age of Ultron wasn't for money, but there was still a premise. There was still, like, we can take this story and make something great out of it. When in Men in Black, it's like, we need a new story because money. Yeah. We want the brand recognition because we want money. There's at least with Avengers, there's obvious like character story development that hasn't been done before that they're trying to reach to audiences. There's clear artistic value with it. Even if there is money to be made.
At least for Avengers in general, there's like so many stories you can tell because there's literally so many stories
Yeah,
of
yeah.
source material.
Exactly. We've
So
kind of told all the stories in Men in Black. I mean, basically, alien comes to Earth, threatens to destroy it. Men in Black stop him. That's how every story has been.
yeah,
I mean, granted, they might try to pull more from the comics because it was a comic book, and maybe there's more diversity there. And we could be wrong, but I mean, for the most part, it definitely seems way more of a cash grab. So I don't have much faith in it at
yeah.
all.
And then too, like I was saying earlier about the movies, like I could see if the first Men in Black, really, Men in Black flopped. And it
Yeah,
was this failure, and someone's like, you know what, I'm
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
redeem this franchise, and just
yeah,
totally pulled it off. Kind of like Batman. You know how Batman in the late '90s kind of like fell all the way off the rails, and then
yeah,
Chris Nolan came in with his, gritty remake and kind of elevated Batman back to like, not
yeah.
cheesy, horrible
Badass.
status.
Yeah.
See, if Men in Black had that kind of a problem, then I could understand.
It also helped that like Batman was way more relatable in that one too, and the other ones he was just like,
Yeah.
"I'm a rich piece of shit."
But I love the Tim Burton Batman. Not the last two, but
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I love the two that Tim Burton did.
I grew up watching the Tim Burton Batmans, and I like them. The only thing I can like really bitch about those is that they could have done. I don't understand why you wouldn't let Batman move his head around. That's stupid. That makes literally no sense.
Oh, when he's just like,
We understand like armor to protect his neck, but
mm-hmm.
even then, it's just like, you know,
Yeah.
he looks stupid when he's moving
Yeah.
around, not moving his neck. So, um, all you people listening, watch the Tim Burton if you haven't, and you'll see how awkward it can be sometimes when what is that guy's name? I
Michael
forgot.
Keaton.
Yeah, yeah, Michael Keaton's trying to move around, and he just looks so stiff because he can't move his neck. But yeah.
Men in Black, I just don't know what premise they could do because they've already went like to the past. They've, like what other premise of story could you tell that, like you said, that they haven't covered with that story? Like,
Yeah.
they've already shown their relationship. They already showed like Kay when he was younger.
Yeah.
Like what else? Unless you're gonna be, what I thought was interesting when they completely botched this was in the first movie when Kay was supposed to retire, and then he was paired up with the doctor chick who kind of saw everything, and then she was like an agent. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
And then they totally disregarded that to make him fall in love with like Rosario Dawson in the second one. I mean, I love Rosario, but I was just like, where did this chick come from?
If you're not going to develop the love story, then don't do it
writing.
at all. Yeah, exactly. That's why I loved the movie Her. It's because that was one of the most believable love stories
Oh my gosh,
I've ever seen in film.
That movie.
One of my top 5 movies of all time, by far.
Now,
it's just so
that's
true.
That's how you do a love story. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the funny part, is it's a computer. Like, that love story is so much more realistic than Jay and that one girl in the second Men in Black movie.
Yeah, but like in Her, even at the end, like when, all the AIs leave, like, when they're like, deuces were out.
Yeah. Spoilers!
Oh, sorry, but if you haven't seen Her by now, you need to get.
Yeah, you really do need to stop listening to this, all 3 of you, and watch Her. That's an amazing
go watch
movie.
Her.
You won't regret it.
2 of you might come back, 1 of you might not. You might try to go find Her, but the rest of you come back and listen to this.
We're also going to bring up a topic about sex robots, but I feel like that might be a good thing to segue off to talk about artificial intelligence and all that.
Yeah, we'll have to come back to that segue.
Yes, indeed.
But
I said sex and robots. She's.
I know, and I'm giggling like that was so funny. It was though. So yeah, I'm a cheap laugh. So yeah, yeah, I don't know if I'm a cheap date, but yeah, you have to do some surveys. I don't know.
Yep.
But the other problem with reboots is it's like they're always trying to recapture the old, like the magic in the old one instead of just taking the same elements to make something new.
Yeah, like I actually respect that when people like make something new in a reboot and make it their own, because I think that's cool.
In The Hobbit.
Yeah.
Like in The Hobbit, I mean, I get you have to connect the two that you want to
Yeah.
connect the two, but I feel like they're connected enough because it's in the same world and certain characters
Yeah.
are in both movies, like Bilbo's in both, Gandalf's in both. But
Yeah.
there were people popping up that are not in The Hobbit, like Legolas. Why is he here? And they wanted Viggo Mortensen. There we go. That
Oh
plays
yeah.
Aragorn. They wanted him to be in it, and he turned them down. Like, Aragorn's on The Hobbit. Like, bye, Felicia. So,
I would honestly be okay with that because I love Viggo Mortensen's portrayal of
I do
Aragorn. Like
too.
I think he is Aragorn. You know,
But
he's
basically, he
perfect.
was like when he was filming,
Yeah,
he was
yeah. He was a
literally
character actor.
walking around like that with the sword and
Yeah.
everything.
You know what's funny is I know somebody that like they're not like super attracted to like Viggo Mortensen. I cannot say his fucking name to save my life. I'm just gonna say Vigo to save myself
Yeah.
from the embarrassment. They're not attracted to the actor himself, but they're attracted to him playing Aragorn.
That's
They're like,
me
that's
all
the
day,
sexiest
every
thing
day.
ever.
That is me. Like when I see him with his little short kind of blonde situation he's usually rocking, I'm like, oh no 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 no
Yeah,
no.
yeah,
Like he needs to look like Aragorn 24/7. Like
yeah.
that is his look.
He's one of the few dudes that can really pull off the long hair look and look really hot with it. But
Yeah, he looks man good. He it's not like
yeah,
he has long hair and he looks
yeah.
like
It's not pretty.
yeah, he
It's
doesn't look
manly.
like a biatch. So he looks good with it. So I like
I
that.
love the Benedict Cumberbatch Sherlock Holmes too. Have you
I
ever seen
need
that?
you know what?
Do you have Netflix?
I do. Okay,
No excuse then. You have no excuse not watching.
I'm waiting to watch it. I love me some Benedict Cumberbatch.
Benedict? Oh god.
Yeah.
But he's so fugly looking.
He is. He is. Like I'm not even gonna deny it.
Very
This
very
is why.
charismatic.
This
Very
is
charismatic personality and voice, but that
yes.
face though.
Yeah.
He's like a butterface, but not even for his body, but for everything else but his body and face.
It's like
Is charismatic about him.
butter personality.
He has like the Jew fro, the fugly face, the lanky body, but everything else is so
But he has like
enticing about him.
gorgeous blue eyes, and he's
That's
super
true.
charismatic, and he'd be super sweet, and
Oh
he
yeah.
has that voice like oh my
Oh
gosh.
gosh.
So yeah,
If I had his voice, do you realize like I
girl,
would
oh
have
my
I
gosh,
would
you would drown in the pussy, like you would
yeah.
drown.
Especially here with a British accent.
Yeah,
Like just having a British
exact and
accent
that
here is
deep
enough.
like
But
husky
having
voice. Yeah,
oh
it'd
yeah.
be R.I.P. Drew because you drown.
I wonder what his American accent would sound like.
Have you ever seen what's the name of that movie?
Oh, are you talking about when he played Julian Assange in the WikiLeaks
No, I haven't
movie?
seen that one. But no, it's
Is
called
Julian Assange American?
no, I think he's Swedish or something. Sage, August County. And it's like Meryl Streep's in it and Julia Roberts and like I think she got nominated for it. I don't remember if she won. But Benedict Cumberbatch is in that movie, and in that movie he doesn't have he's doing an American accent.
Oh, okay.
And it does I mean, I still do it, but he doesn't sound as he needs that British accent.
I just asked because I noticed like when people use a British or American accent, the American accent sounds deeper to me than when they use their British one. Like I feel like a good example of that is Christian Bale. Like I'm about to say he has a deep voice when he's American, but it's
Yeah.
deeper than when he's using his English accent.
Yeah. Guess it's time for that segue to roll back around.
We wanna talk about sex bots. That's an actual thing that's happening in the very near future. They've developed them. They're figuring out a way to manufacture them and to make them available for the public. And
I
for
don't
obvious reasons, there's going to be impacts on our culture and society
I
and
don't know how I
everything.
feel about this, and this is why. I feel like people already have a problem interacting with other people due to technology.
Yeah,
Even now, like in the freaking dating world, you say, "Hey, how you doing?" Next thing you know, 5 minutes, someone's sending you a picture of their penis, and it's just like, okay, if you ran into me on the street, would you do that to me? Would you just pull down your pants? Like, oh hey, I like
I don't
you.
know.
Whoop. Like, no, never. So why is that acceptable behavior?
Me
So,
personally, I'm for it because I mean, on it, like, I truly believe most of America's problems would be solved if we didn't have so many goddamn people. And if this works as some sort of less fucking babies are being born because people are going to these sex spots, I'm okay with that. Because I honestly feel like it causes all of our problems: pollution, overpopulation, just crowded traffic areas in general, things that help reduce the population. I'm kind of for.
That's a good benefit, but I mean, I feel like the basis of human being, we have to interact with each other. That's how we
Yeah.
that's part of survival. No, my fear is that people are not going to know how to treat people. They're going to treat them like, like robots, basically, like they're not human, and I feel like that's already happening to an extent by the way people treat people now, like it's almost
Yeah.
like people treat people as expendable when don't feel like that's the case, because if we're all expendable, then why the F are we here in the, like, what's the point anyway? Look at what's happening in Japan. Not even just the fact that their population is going down, but people are so invested. Like, they rather have a freaking virtual girlfriend, like,
Yeah.
fake, not real, not, can't touch her, talk to her, nothing, completely made up, than a real flesh and blood human being girlfriend. To me, that's a problem.
Yeah. I think it's definitely going to affect it and negatively, but I think the things that will have the more negative impact is virtual reality. Because I feel like that it's going to be like there's going to be people that are going to be VR addicts.
Yeah, of
Real
course.
life is going to be so painfully boring and depressing that I feel like there's going to be so many
Yeah.
VR addicts and so
It's
many
gonna be
people
like
that
that
just like
one
retreat to
movie.
that.
Have you seen that Bruce Willis movie? I forgot the name of it.
You're gonna have to be very specific because there's so many.
Yeah, let me look.
I feel like the second word in the title was rising, but I'm not sure.
I thought it was one word, but I could be wrong. Surrogates, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I remember. Yeah, yeah, I was wrong. I don't know why I thought rising was in the title, but yeah, I remember seeing trailers for surrogates.
Yeah. So, these people are like living their freaking lives through these robots, basically. They literally don't even have interaction with each other anymore. So it's just kind of like, if you're going to take all the, I guess, the good things about being human out of it, then what is the point? Like, what is
Yeah,
the point? It kind of almost just doesn't really make any sense to me.
yeah. I mean, I think that's kind of what influences my whole like sex bots are okay because if there's less people, that's fine because I don't have much of a like. I'm not necessarily rooting for the human race to survive in the long end. I'm just like, good, fuck them. Go
Yeah.
stay in VR. I'm gonna go do my thing. You know what I
Yeah, but I
mean?
mean, it would suck though.
Um,
Like, if you want to hang out with your friends, you couldn't because they're all freaking having some virtual
well, I
reality
mean,
relationship kind of a thing where, it's like, oh, let's go play golf, and he's like,
well,
oh yeah, no, I'm gonna sit here and stare at this computer for 48 hours. Like, that would suck.
a lot of people made this argument when like the internet first came out, and they're just like, "Oh my gosh, nothing's ever gonna get done." It's like,
Oh
yeah,
well, no, I don't think
things
it's
still
like
get done.
that.
Oh yeah,
I don't think it's like where people are gonna shut down their lives. But like you said, if I could personally live in a virtual reality world where I don't have to work, it's basically like The Sims. It's like, if I can just have a house and do whatever I want to, what would be the point of actually going through the mundaneness and the struggles of everyday life? You know what I mean?
you'd still need a job to pay for the
Well,
electricity for the VR set.
yes, I'm just sure about that. Until a robot takes your job.
Yeah. That would
So,
be pretty crazy though if we literally got to a point where like no Americans had to do any work because the robots got it covered.
that would be cool, because then we could do other things and get on our Star Trek future. Like, that's the future that I'm
Yeah,
rooting for. Like, can I get some Star Trek future in here? Like, can everybody just do
yeah,
whatever they want to do and don't have to worry about being, like, enslaved to money, and they can just pursue, like, their dreams and their passion to make the world, like, a better place? But I mean, I sound unrealistic, but, and a food replicator.
Oh yeah, that'd be badass. Um, but I think that's like one of the criticisms of the J.J. Abrams Star Trek. Gene Roddenberry, and for the most part, most of the Star Trek series have really tried to put an emphasis on technology good. Technology is the future. We can use technology to enhance the human race, to push us farther than
And
we ever
make us
thought.
better.
J.J. Abrams is like, explosions, explosions, death,
Yeah.
technology, death.
Yeah, it was more action-y based than science technology.
Yeah, yeah.
So back then, science fiction was still kind of fairly new-ish.
Oh yeah, definitely,
And,
definitely.
in the 60s with the whole space, to the moon and all that stuff, it definitely was capturing people's imagination at the time because it was kind of happening in real life. The J.J. Abrams movies were going up against, like, Transformers and all these other movies where it's just blowing a bunch of stuff up with no plot.
Yeah.
So it did that the best it could while still staying true to the principles to Star Trek, I guess.
Well, I mean, I definitely
I mean, I like
think
the
that.
J.J. Abrams
Oh, I do too.
Star Trek, but I
Yeah,
mean,
keep in mind,
yeah.
I love both the movies, but they're not. I don't really consider them Star Trek movies. They're more like movies that had Star Trek characters in it than actual Star Trek movies. So
Well,
in every
good because most Star Trek movies are boring as fuck.
yeah, well, I mean, it definitely depends. Like the thing about the Star Trek movies that weren't the J.J. Abrams ones is, for the most part, they had some sort of underlying message. Like first contact, it's like what makes you human, what makes you want to achieve, what makes the difference between man and machine. There's always a lot of super serious themes that you kind of take away from it. And
Yeah.
J.J. Abrams, there wasn't really.
No.
I mean, there were some, but it wasn't like explicit as like the other movies were.
No, and J.J. Abrams, to me, the theme of the first one was like friendship and teamwork and working
Oh yeah,
with
like
people.
believing in yourself.
Yeah, that was.
Oh,
I guess there's more.
don't get in your own way.
Yeah, they're more. They're more like
Generic
yeah,
principles.
yeah,
The other ones were very
yeah.
philosophical,
More idealistic.
philosophic.
Yeah, and more
Yeah,
idealistic of like the
yeah,
the best of humanity.
yeah, yeah.
And it was kind of like all these other creatures from the different worlds kind of symbolized in different ways the worst of humanity.
Yeah.
So, and by them being like the good guys, it was kind of like they were rising. Like humanity at this point in the Star Trek universe has risen above, who they used to be, and now they're better people because of it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's definitely not the case in the J.J. Abrams
No.
Star Trek. Or,
No, not at all.
So,
I mean, yeah, that's given like Captain Kirk's reputation.
yeah, but then again, this Captain Kirk is way more, smashable. But that's just
I thought young William Shatner was pretty good looking though.
he alright, but he ain't got
Come
nothing.
on,
He ain't got nothing on this dude
young William Shatner.
against Chris
I mean,
Pine.
I'm just saying, like, in general.
Oh
like,
no,
young
yeah,
William
no,
Shatner was good looking.
yeah, he was.
No, yeah, Chris Pine is very, very handsome.
Yes.
Everybody probably thinks I'm gay now. He gave another dude a compliment. Guess it means he wants to suck his cock.
No, you gave you giving a bunch of guys compliments, and then on the other podcast we were talking about man pretty. So
yeah, well, it's possible. I know this is hard for a lot of other dudes to understand, but you can think another dude is like good looking without wanting to fuck him. Like that's completely a possible thing. People, did you hear about that? This is so we're getting off, but did you hear about how like he used to date Olivia Munn, right? And that like she sent him like dirty pictures and they leaked.
No.
They're like pictures to the point where it was like most of them were clothed, but it'd be like she'd be like in her bra and there'd be like a arrow being like take these off at your own will or something like that. Like they were edited that way.
Cute.
Yeah, I thought so too. I was like, damn, they must have had fun when they were together.
Yeah, that's cute.
I bet when that like virtual reality thing that gets big, like the the jocks at school are going to be the losers, and the nerds are going to be the cool people.
Yeah. Now, like, I was looking at all the con stuff, because con season is kind of
Oh yeah.
rolling on. And now, I guess it's just like, okay, I'm all for a slutty costume, but I feel like just because you wear a slutty R2D2, that doesn't make you a Star Wars nerd. Like, it just doesn't.
Slutty R2D2. Out of all the characters,
yeah,
someone could have picked, they pick R2D2. I'm sorry, that's funny.
No, R2D2 is like really big for like dressing like a slut. Like, I don't know why that makes me. Or like a freaking slutty Darth Vader, whatever. So this is not to the actual girls that know stuff, and then they just choose to dress, slutty like I do. But
like I do. Damn.
But, I'm not talking to you guys. We're good, but yeah.
I ain't talking to you sluts.
I said I do. I mean, I didn't exclude myself.
I know, I'm just messing with you. Oh boy. So would you ever consider trying out a sex bot, even if like everybody was like, it is the most amazing experience you'll ever have sexually in your entire life?
It depends on what it looks like. If it looks like a CPR dummy, you can miss me. Now, if it looks like freaking Jack from Sons of Anarchy and I couldn't tell the difference unless I like sliced his arm off and saw all the wires, then maybe we'd have to have a conversation. It definitely couldn't be robot-y looking if that's if you know what I mean.
I just googled that guy that you just mentioned, and he kind of looks like the guy from The Notebook.
Oh, Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, he kind of looks a little bit like that.
Yeah.
Just a random observation, but yeah.
But it would have to look just like that, where I couldn't tell it was a robot. If you get what I mean.
Please insert in the receptacle. Like it just talks to you like a robot.
He has a coin slot in his butt.
Engaging sexual practices in 5, 4.
But it definitely couldn't be robotic in any way. Like, it couldn't look robotic. It couldn't talk robotic. It couldn't do anything robotic. Like, it couldn't.
Hello, Torin. Get ready for me to enter you.
Man. But yeah,
I am the robot of your dreams.
Yeah.
Do you love me?
Nah, see, I will have to be chunking the deuces and be like, all right, bye for Because
I like how it's way more of a visual experience than anything else.
For me, I'm a visual person. I do like introspective and I do like mental stimulation more than visual, but I'm not gonna lie and say that visual's not a part of it, because it is. I mean, I prefer mental, but then that's the thing. See, like a robot could get you mentally because it would be smart because it was a robot, right? Yeah. So I can't trust that. So that's why I say, like, if it looked robotic or talked robotic or sounded robotic, then that would just kill the whole immersion just for me personally. If I'm intimate like that with someone, that's the part that I like, is the interaction, the human interaction. Like, I'm interacting with this person and this person interacting with me and we're feeding off each other. Like that, I like that. So to me, to lose that would be a whole big part of intimacy, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. At least for me.
No, I can totally see that. Even the sexual sense, it's probably going to be transferred over to VR. Mm-hmm. So that you do kind of get more of the visually stimulating experience.
Yeah, but see, I can't even wear 3D glasses. How am I going to wear freaking Oculus Rift all the time? Like, I can't.
Well, I mean, they're definitely going to make it more user-friendly.
Like I'm saying, they haven't even improved 3D technology, okay? Like, you still got to wear those stupid glasses. So, it's just like, they need to, get that.
I mean, who knows? They might make it holodeck.
Like Dr. Manhattan looking?
No, like
holograms?
Like next generation holodeck.
Oh, okay, because I'm like, the blue one that is usually, like, it's a hologram and it's blue, like on Star Wars. I'm like,
oh, no.
I was going to say, I'm not about that Dr. Manhattan life.
Star Wars needs to get their hologram game up. We have better holograms than that. Jesus fuck. It's so weird. Certain aspects of Star Wars is like it's in the future, but it's in the past at the same time.
I know. That's
Certain aspects of it.
Yeah, I like that though. I like that about Star Wars.
Yeah.
Speaking of future and past.
Yeah. I just felt like being creepy for a second.
Is that your phone operator?
Hey there.
I was so hang up. Like, but yeah, speaking of future and past.
Hey bitch, let's fuck. Okay, go ahead.
I'm leaving that in. Oh gosh.
Right you are.
So, if you could time travel, speaking of, where would you travel to if you could travel anywhere?
Oh god, that's a tough one. I think I would really like the 60s or 70s because you have this time of like fuck the oppression and the ridiculousness of the 50s of such a black and white society and everything authority is awesome. I feel like a lot of the interesting stuff, a lot of revolutions in art and culture were happening in the 60s and 70s and like everything like music, stand-up comedy, TV shows. You kind of saw this like artistic flourish that was deeply opposing the strictness of the 50s. I mean, Vietnam would have been really annoying to have had to been around. Yeah. But yeah, I'm a big fan of 60s and 70s type of thing. And the clothes were colorful. I like that too.
Yeah.
Well, what about you?
If I had to be me, I'd be going to the future because
oh yeah,
she's not dealing with any of that 1960s nonsense.
Yeah.
And that's when it got better. So I'm really not dealing with any of that, pre 1865 nonsense. Yeah, no. She's not working for free. So so I'm going that way. I would want to go to like the year like 3,000 or like 5,000 or something. Like I want to see that future. That's where I would want to go. I want to go to the future and see like how we progress or if we progress or what happened.
What if you had to go into the past? Where would you choose? When would you choose?
God, I have to be me? The 80s. No, if I had to go,
I was about to say, I was like that really shouldn't count.
Well, 4 years counts. If I had to choose, though, then I could be fine. And not have to deal with any shenanigans. I would probably do the 1940s.
Like in America?
Yeah, or UK. I could do the UK, like, during like World War II.
Well, wouldn't that be a rough time though? Because I think
America, it's so fascinating. Like, I think that time is so interesting. Also, another time that would really be cool is like the turn of the century when electricity was first, started and the train.
Yeah, basically like the Industrial Revolution kind of kicking off to where like
that would be really cool because you would see all these things that like you never thought about. I guess it would be kind of comparable to like how we've progressed with technology in the last 25 years or so. Oh yeah.
I think I know we kind of went into this a little bit, but I truly think we're going to get a second industrial revolution once the 3D printer is mass produced where everybody has one.
I agree.
Then
when the 3D printer
that's about as close as we could come to the replicator as in modern times.
Yeah. Like, I can't wait till the 3D printer comes out and I can have one. That afford to have one, and make my own things. Because how many things will people be making and not buying if they can just make it on their own?
Oh, yeah. I mean, of course, the material for the 3D printer would still be mass produced.
I'm pretty sure. But, I mean, they still will be mass produced. But, I mean, look at computers, they just mass produce it like they produce everything else. everyone's cutting out the middleman that they don't really need anymore, which is kind of sad for people who, you know, are losing their jobs. But I feel like this push of technology to take the mundane, I guess, if you will, off our hands, frees us up to do more important and better things. Well, no, that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Once technology advances, it's not like it just takes the jobs and like a vacuum, you know. It's like this, it's just sucking things and leaving like this hole. I think it just, like I said, it frees people up to do something else.
Yeah.
So, just like you said, once the elevators came in and pushed buttons, that guy's free to go do something else instead of just standing there pushing buttons. But, okay, what? Like, we're so off on...
Yep. Well, we do this every time, so it's... We definitely do this every time.
We need a moderator or something. Like, we're just...
Yeah. Oh my god, they would kill us probably.
We're just
whoever the mods were.
Yeah, they'd be like, dude, get your life. Like, oh. So... Well, I
We'd probably get in arguments with the mod.
That's
just
true.
Be like, fuck you.
Yeah, that's true.
On that note, I think we should wrap up. And with the final message of...
Stop remaking movies. Stop it. Stop remaking freaking movies.
That's our main themes for today.